I don't know where the hell this confusion's coming from, Tyler. You said, call me if you get lost. I got lost on DVD, all the seasons, I'm gonna ship them to you. Where's my damn money?
Black Midi, Cavalcade.
Okay, this one's interesting. The first Black Midi album felt like you were plopped in a circle of MMA fighters who would just pummel you for 40 minutes straight. This new Cavalcade, though, is like that same group of fighters ominously standing over you. And sure, every so often they'll throw out a flurry of punches, but they've also recognized that the spaces between the punches make the punches feel that much more impactful. I guess what I'm saying is, this album is good, quite good, but I'm surprised by the way in which it's good.
Japanese Breakfast, Jubilee.
The only thing keeping me from enjoying this album more and just throwing all of my money at Japanese Breakfast is that no song on here is sung in Simic. Yeah, that should be 16 digits, and let me know when you want the 3 funny numbers on the back.
Mustafa, When Smoke Rises.
Imagine, if you will, the musical love child of Sufjan Stevens and Sampha from a poet processing the grief of losing those closest to him. It's beautiful stuff, and I'm excited to see where he goes from here.
Wolf Alice, Blue Weekend.
This is me kicking myself for not checking out Wolf Alice until this album.
Left at London, TIA PFYH.
I hadn't checked out Left at London stuff until somebody recommended her for a QRB last year. And if it hadn't been for that, I probably wouldn't have checked out this album, which has become one of my favorites of the year so far. Maybe the whole lot of you aren't too bad after all. Here, have an avocado.
Sleater-Kinney, Path of Wellness.
I was surprised to learn this one was coming out. I had no real expectations for it, and yet I came away from it fairly pleased.
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, Butterfly 3000.
King Gizzard's second album of 2021, a catchy and often gorgeous foray into synth pop, and yet another reminder that if I ever do a deep discog dive on these guys, it's gonna be hell.
Backwash, I Lie Here Buried with My Rings and My Dresses. Doja Cat, Planet Her.
At least 4 of these songs are going to end up being inescapable in pop culture for the rest of the year, if not longer than that. There's nothing we can do about that. But it helps that the production is slick as Rick, and Doja is as charismatic a vocalist as ever. And I know some people out there aren't really big fans of Doja's shtick, and I get that to some extent, but let me put it like this. When it comes to the sound of pop music this summer, it's either going to be this or Joker Ed Sheeran. Choose wisely.
Migos, Culture 3.
I mean, at least it's a half hour shorter than Culture 2.
Garbage, No Gods, No Masters.
And in a surprise turn of events, Garbage passes Migos for the longest album that I cover this month. I like this one though. I like it. I don't think it needed to be nearly 90 minutes long, but still, I liked it.
Maroon 5, Geordie.
The one song on here that's a blatant Tame Impala ripoff also happens to be the best Maroon 5 has sounded in years, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little terrified of what that means for their future, you know?
Hiatus Coyote, Mood Valiant.
I have waited 6 long years for a new Hiatus Coyote record. This new one is just as good as I hoped for, if not better. I'm injecting it straight into my veins.
Liz Phair, Soberish.
A solid showcase for Liz Phair's songwriting skills, and sure, it doesn't go out of her wheelhouse too much, but considering what her last album was...
Pulled out the contract from the file cabinet.
Yeah, I will gladly stay in her wheelhouse.
Lucy Dacus, Home Video.
What can I say? She don't miss.
Rise Against, Nowhere Generation.
Step 1, go to thesaurus.com. Step 2, type in acceptable. Step 3, pick your favorite synonym.
Modest Mouse, The Golden Casket.
Bless my beating heart, did we just get a darn good Modest Mouse album in the year of our Lord 2021? Isaac Brock, you little self-effacing murine.
Sweet Trip, a tiny house in Secret Speech's Polar Equals.
I feel like I should like this one way more than I actually do.
Marina, Ancient Dreams in a Modern Land.
The album as a whole is good, but Man's World might be a top 10 track of 2021. Even if you don't care for Marina's past work, definitely check that track out at least.
Polo G, Hall of Fame.
Polo looks like he could be the heir to the emo trap throne previously held by the likes of the late Juice WRLD and Lil Peep, and I think he's got what it takes to make a truly great project one day. One day.
The Mountain Goats, Dark in Here.
Apparently this one was recorded at the same time as their album from last year. That one I was kind of mid on, but this one blindsided me, honestly. John Darnielle, you crazy. How you get goats to make music like this?
Tyler, the Creator, Call Me If You Get Lost.
After just knocking it out of the park with his last two more conceptual albums, I was really interested to see where Tyler would take things this time around. But the most refreshing thing about this one is actually how not conceptual and not heady it comes off on first listen. Now don't get me wrong, I'm sure people are going to be dissecting and coming up with their own interpretations for this one basically for the rest of the year. What's nice is that Tyler managed to meld the neo-soul of his last two records with the pacing and flow of a 2000s mixtape. In other words, this thing has depth for those who want it, but it's also just really fun, and I can't wait to bump it all summer long. Provided Tyler actually gets back to me about my damn Lost DVDs.